Hello, and welcome to this June 18th, 2020 edition of Let's Do Lunch, a devotional ministry of First United Methodist Church in West Monroe, Louisiana. Thank you so much for taking time to join us. I'm Lamar Oliver, pastor of First United Methodist Church. Our hope and prayer is these brief few moments of coming up for air, no matter your location or your circumstance, will bless you and renew your spirit. While Dr. Strangelove introduced the concept of a red phone on the president's desk that connected the White House to the Kremlin back in the day, an examination of public historical records, for I'm quite sure, especially on matters as sensitive as this, not everything is or should be publicly disclosed, the record shows this was nothing but a work of Hollywood. Per our friends at the Smithsonian Magazine and the Kennedy administration, there was instituted, for the times, a direct radio telegraph circuit in the wake of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Of course, as technology has evolved over the years, this direct connection transformed. There are times when I've envisioned having a red phone on my desk that serves as a drop line to God. I'd like to make sure I'm getting a direct, uninterrupted, unfiltered word to and from the, quote, man upstairs, unquote. Yes, I understand the theological fallacy of thinking there is a need for such a thing, but I'm only human. Throughout Scripture, we see people wrestling with a desire to hear God and for God to hear them. Along with many cases where people seem to be wondering where is God, we encounter testimonies such as these brief verses from Psalm 86, 5 through 7, which are as follows. For you, O Lord, are good and forgiving, abounding in steadfast love to all who call on you. Give ear, O Lord, to my prayer. Listen to my cry of supplication. In the day of my trouble I call on you, for you will answer me. May God add divine blessing to the reading and hearing of this sacred word. Notice the psalmist's absolute confidence in the Lord's being there to hear his cry, rooting his trust and confidence in God's essence, one who is good, forgiving, and abounding in steadfast love to all who call. What I find truly inspirational about this is the psalmist's confidence is based not on any outcome, nor is it based on any emotions within the psalmist. No, friends, it is rooted in God's nature. Of course, throughout the years, is it not quite that simple, is it? Or is it? Now, one thing I have learned over and over is I can rarely look back over life and see not insignificant decisions I've made, things I've said, and actions I've taken in the throes of highly emotional situations that worked out quite as well as they would have with a little more processing and judiciousness. That's where I think the genius of these words from the psalmist might be most helpful. Rather than basing our faith in God primarily on emotions or circumstance, let us instead be people who are rooted and grounded because of our solid belief in the goodness and grace of God's nature. Now, back to the red phone thing for a minute. The article I read from Smithsonian Magazine also indicated that as of the time of the writing, the current system is tested 24 hours a day, every hour, to ensure it is working exactly as it always should be, so it's available in an emergency. Maybe, just maybe, we might find Paul's admonition to pray without ceasing to be helpful so that we are constantly reassured of God's attentiveness to our deepest desires and longings, no matter the situation. And now may the good Lord bless you and keep you. May the good Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the good Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. Now, before we go, please take a moment to like and share this video with whatever network you're on, and visit fumcwm.live, where you can subscribe to our YouTube feed and not miss any of our video content. Go in peace.